My name's Puya. You might know me as Redfield or Puya Redfield. Yet again, you might not. Why not? Because today, as the November 9th of 2025, I've been streaming on Twitch and posting on TikTok and Instagram for exactly 1 month. And here I am today, sharing my own experience with you and letting you know about the very basics of content creation that everyone, even an amateur, even a nobody like me myself, is supposed to know before even starting content creation. Disclaimer: this is not a tutorial video. I am not going to sit here and tell you how to create or set up your Twitch or YouTube channel or show you the best OBS settings or stuff like this. The concept of this video is to make you mentally and physically ready for what you're about to get yourself into. First and foremost, please do yourself a favor and keep your expectations as low as you can. Otherwise, you're going to break into pieces. I know, okay? Trust me. I know exactly how it feels to have an enormous goal in life. I know exactly how it feels to be dreaming of becoming one of the biggest and greatest content creators of all time. To have like thousands and tens of thousands of viewers every single stream, to be like the streamer YouTuber who everyone talks about, who everyone watches, to have multiple clip channels or fan pages to post about you, talk about you, follow you, to have actual fans, to have real life people around yourself who consistently support you, who love you, who care about you, who watch you, to win awards, to become rich and famous, blah, blah, blah. I know exactly how it all feels, okay? But the reality is different, unfortunately. Let me show you what the reality looks like. This right here, these are the numbers I achieved after 1 month of streaming on Twitch. I've had an average of 2.9 viewers. I gained 31 followers on Twitch. I earned $6.22 after 1 month, which is actually lucky of me because I got affiliated after 1 week, which is not the case for many newcomers. I have one subscriber who's no one but my own brother. And all of this after 44 hours and 49 minutes of streaming. Well, I gotta confess, I wasn't really streaming that consistently. I barely even streamed every second day, which is not good at all. Like, if you're looking at as a legit career, if you're taking it like seriously, this number right here, this should be way higher than it is for me. And I'm working on it too. Like, I was just a little bit too overwhelmed and too lost because it was like my first time, my first month. But now I'm like actually scheduling my content and working on it. But, anyways, this is the reality. The reality I was talking about is that at the beginning of your career, for a very long time, you're going to sit in front of your camera and talk to yourself. You're going to have 0 to 2 viewers every single stream. And you're going to be lucky to have like 4 or 5 at some days. But you can't let it disappoint you. You can't let it make you give up. And this is the whole reason why I'm making this video today. What matters is that you are aware of it and keep going. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're streaming for 1 or 2 people or like 100 or 200 people. What matters is that you don't give up, is that you ignore the number and try to get the absolute best of yourself as a content creator. As you can say by the numbers I just showed you, I'm not really someone who can sit here and tell you exactly how to become successful in this field because I'm not that myself. But when you see it in a logical, critical in theoretical way, you realize that only sitting on your chair and playing a game for hours and streaming it is not going to lead you anywhere. Let me show you a perfect example. My main online game that I play the most is Valorant. And right now we are on the Valorant category on Twitch. And as you can see, I can scroll and scroll and scroll like for literal hours and it's never going to end. Do you even see how many people are streaming Valorant right now? And you, my friend, when you start streaming, you're going to be thrown somewhere down here. Now, you tell me, how many people exactly are you expecting to scroll this far down just to click on your stream? While there are already some big ass streamers up here. No one. I'm going to tell you one thing, no one. Well, what I'm trying to say is not that streaming itself is unnecessary or useless or a waste of time or whatever. No, it is 100% an essential, and you have to be doing it consistently if you want to like actually get something out of it. What I'm trying to say is that it's not enough. For you, in order to be seen by a larger amount of people, you have to be making offline content. And it doesn't matter what this offline content is. It could be like some badass moments out of your streams or gameplay or some funny things that happen on your stream or some simple tweets or some simple photos of yourself or things you cook, things you draw. It could be anything. It's only important that you continuously insist on the fact that you are a part of the internet right now. And I've been doing more or less all of this for a month now, and I can only speak from my own experience. And I gotta say, it is fun. Like, I genuinely love doing all of it. It's a wholesome feeling to see your social media or yourself improve in any way, shape, or form. But fact is that it can get extremely, and I mean extremely overwhelming and time consuming sometimes, especially if you don't have that many people around yourself, or if you don't have anybody around yourself who can support you or help you out with doing stuff. I mean, just think about it. Creating your channels, setting them up, dealing with all the complicated settings and stuff, learning how different platforms work, learning how to clip stuff, how to cut stuff, editing, dealing with people with comments and all that. It is a lot of work, okay? It's not as simple as it might sound if you're not experienced, if you have never done it. And that's why I think that everyone should be asking themselves some questions, some serious questions before even coming up with the idea of pressing the start streaming button. For example, do I have enough capacity for all of it? Do I have enough time for this job? Do I really have enough lust and passion? And I asked myself if I had enough capacity for this job, and the answer was no. For me, the answer was no because I don't really want to get into details, but simply because my life has been way too complicated to add one more serious thing to it. I've been living alone without my parents for some years. I was working two jobs. 1 month ago when I started doing this, I was working two jobs. I was working a full-time job and a part-time job. Normally it would have been way too much for my sanity, but I did it anyways. I started doing it because sometimes it's only a matter of how much you want something, you know? And I can tell you one thing, for me personally, this is the most important thing in my life right now. I don't want anything else as much as I want this job, as much as I want this to work out, and I would do everything for it. And I'm telling you, do it only and only if you have love and passion for it. and not for the fame and for the money. Otherwise, you're gonna regret it, you're gonna be disappointed, you're gonna embarrass yourself, and you're gonna give up and stop doing it in a heartbeat. There is one cliche between people that I genuinely hate, and it's that consistency is more important than perfection, which I think is absolute bullshit because think about it. I just showed you how many people were streaming Valorant. Hundreds and thousands of people streaming Valorant every single day. But, how many of them do you think are doing it consistently? I would say at least 70%. At least 70% are streaming, I don't know, Valorant or any other game every day for hours. Because they're all like, okay, so I play video games anyways, like every day, so why not streaming it? Why not earning money with it, I just sit on my chair, I play my game, and I'm gonna get paid. People are gonna give me money. It's just money glitch. I don't do anything special for it. And that is exactly the reason why they never become successful. Because they're not trying their best. They're not trying to be perfect. They're just being consistent. But consistency for no reason. They are not giving the audience any reason to click on them, to not click on the streamer on their right or left. I don't know. You, by your perfection, you make yourself unique. You give your viewer a reason to watch you and not another streamer who has like 300 viewers more than you. So, perfection is way more important than consistency, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not saying you are not allowed to make mistakes or be afraid of making mistakes. No, what I'm saying is regardless of whether you make mistakes or not, you always have to be trying to make the best content you possibly can create. And only then you can expect people to support you. Last but not least, you are an influencer and not an influencee. Well, this topic is a little bit too controversial to talk about, so I truly hope that everybody understands what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how good you do what you do, it doesn't matter how kind and nice you try to be, and it doesn't matter how much you try to keep people satisfied with what you do or what you produce. There is always going to be a large number of people who hate you, who don't mess with you, who bully you, who ignore you, who make fun of you, who try to stop you, try to cancel you, try to change something about you, who compare you with the others. And this is 100% inevitable. What you have to do is simple. First of all, you need to be aware of your identity. And you should be trying to keep this identity and don't change it. Second of all, you should be listening to your people. Only because you're a streamer or an influencer, as I said, you are not anything special. You shouldn't be closing all the doors to your viewers. Just listen to them, try to understand what they want from you, catch on their points, and then be a critical thinker. Process and think about what they want from you with your healthy brain and come to a proper conclusion of whether you want to change something about yourself or your activities or not. Because trust me, if you don't do this, if you let any opinion touch you, it's gonna ruin your career, it's gonna ruin your personality, it's gonna ruin your mentality, it's gonna ruin your identity online as well as in real life. So it's very important. Don't mute people, listen to them, understand what they want from you, and think yourself if that makes sense or not. If you made it to this part of the video, it probably means you watched the whole thing, which surprises me because right now I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, why would anybody care about what I say? Who would need my tips? But hey, thank you very much for watching. If you found it informative and helpful, I would widely appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like the video. It means a world to me. And you can also find the links to my other socials in my channel. You can check them out, you don't have to. And hey, who am I to tell you what the right thing is? You know yourself better than anybody else, and you know exactly what the right path is. The only thing you have to do is to stick to it. Alright? See ya.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it will cave in and swallow me.